You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
This makes my nipples hard.
Hey there, and welcome to the show. Well, welcome back to the show if you've been here before. We are here talking about what would be a good first-time show if you were a new listener, because we are actually talking about games that other people might have heard of. Not Sierra, not LucasArts, but out there in the wide, wide world of other games. And yeah, even Paul agreed to it. Hey, Paul.
Hey, that was good. Good way to bring us in. That was really good. I'm excited. It sounded like you said Nazi era, but you said not. Really?
It's not Wolfenstein. Is not one of the games we're talking about today.
No, this is gonna be fine. Listen, we're talking all things not Sierra or LucasArts,
It
right?
does sound like that shit. I've never had to really say it before because it always is Sierra, not Sierra.
This intro has 90% more Nazi mentions than most of our intros do.
Like, for a couple of Jews, that's not
Right?
really what we were intending.
Really uncomfortable.
Hmm.
We've rounded up a disappointing amount of not Sierra and LucasArts games that we played. I'm sorry.
No. We might have to change what we call that, or I'm going to laugh.
I think half the words we've said so far refer to the Fourth Reich here. Third, whatever.
Terrible.
Okay, all right. So here's the deal. Anne and I have played plenty of games that are not LucasArts and Sierra. We'll just flip that around.
Good idea.
But even fewer or whatever. I guess I just said we played a lot. So yeah, we
But between the two of us, when you smash the two lists together,
Yes.
technically there's like 8.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing. I'm not even very confident about 2 of them. Which 2 are they? I'm not gonna tell you guys. You're just gonna. At the end of the show, you can decide for yourselves which ones did Paul kind of just fake his way through. But yeah, we got 8 of them for you, and we're gonna rank them. This is the most random probably ranking of all time. And then after this show, we're going to have a real long look in the mirror as we figure out what the hell to do next. After 200 and some episodes of classic genre related stuff, and we're out of rankings is what I'm saying. We're gonna probably put rankings to bed for a while after this and come up with something new. We are gonna revisit Gabriel Knight 2 in the future. I don't know, maybe we want to give you guys a little bit of a break, and then we're gonna circle back maybe in like February or something, or who knows, maybe we'll never do it again like Freddie Farkas, but we think we're gonna do it again and actually do it justice. And apologies for last week's episode. I had taken ill, and we did the best we could with it, but yeah, we're all good now. So let's get into this.
Good. So did you ever play our first game on the list, which is Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego and Family?
Yes, I did play Carmen Sandiego, not since my testicles have descended. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Yeah. It was a different me, you might even say, had played this, but I did. And I know that I did because I told myself that I have. 6 out of 10. What do you say? No, I'm not ranking it yet. What about you? What are your experiences with the original Carmen Sandiego?
I had a friend who actually played video games, and Carmen Sandiego and Zork were the 2 of the main games, and Cross Country Canada. I've mentioned that before. And so we would play this, and she had that the big atlas book that went with it that had all the stuff you were supposed to know, the big thick one that was there, and the word for it it's not coming to me. I have one of there it is, Fodor's USA encyclopedia, but it's just for Where in America is Carmen Sandiego, so I have one of those. But anyways, I thought it was cool because you couldn't have a cell phone. So in this game, you could use a telephone in the game. It wasn't a Sierra game, but it had that similarity. You could call stuff up, and I wasn't very good at it. But she did the geometry part, and I did the button pushy, ready gameplay part. So if you have a team member that's into geography, or if you like geography, then this is a game that you should have played in the 80s.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Yeah, you're out of luck.
That's a tough sell to begin with, though. Yeah. I feel if you're looking for a good geometry based evening, then is that what you said, or is it geography?
Geography. It's
Right.
very pretty. It's almost there's like photos, but that are pixelated and little cartoon portraits. I think they did a little remake of it somewhere, potentially later on, but I'm not really sure. And they had a show with the cuties that did the harmony and the Carmen Sandiego song, and I had such a crush on the main singer, and they were my very first like rockapella band.
I want to back you up on that. I just don't know how. It's,
That
uh,
you would have had a crush on them
yeah,
too
yeah.
if you were as old as I am, because I'm way older than you, and then watched the show.
I don't know about way.
Wow.
Way. That sound. um, I love the idea of this game. You know?
Would you pull it out and play it with your son one day just for like a random shits and giggles online somewhere?
No, I would
No.
not. No, because I don't have nostalgia for it, so I can't champion him through it.
Hmm.
That's the first marker there. I gotta really keep him into it. Like with Space Quest or the old Sierra games, I'll really, embellish the story a little bit. Really, sell it to him. I
Hmm.
wouldn't know how to with this, and it's static screens, which I like.
Hmm.
Um, if anybody hasn't at all seen it, much less played it, it has that Mac Venture sort of vibe. Granted, for that
Hmm.
to make sense, you would have to have seen or played Mac Venture. But I mean, you're listening to this podcast. One of those probably stuck. Mac Venture would be like Deja Vu and Shadowgate and stuff. Where it's a pretty static screen. And then for playing with my son, like um, we need to be able to walk around. We need something to
Hmm.
little spice, a little something. I like the idea of sitting down with this game like with the book and like actually doing the
Hmm.
research, but like I know that I don't have the self control to do that either. Especially if it was with my kid, I would just be googling
Hmm.
googling everything right on, and it would ruin all the shine, take all the luster away from it. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
and I thought I was gonna more fake my way through this, but I'm more just like I don't know. I don't even know if it's fair to rank it, but I'm gonna because I did technically play it. Uh, I think. I mean, I am losing faith in that too. but I'm pretty sure I played it. We definitely had it. Uh, 7 out of 10.
Nice. I only gave it a 6, and I have fond memories of it, so
Oh
that's
shit.
good.
Okay. Hold on. 6 out of 10.
Okay.
I just
That's fair. It's not really my kind of game. The only reason I was able to play it is somebody else helped me. But I liked the show, but I hated the show, actually. I just liked the singers.
okay. Great. So
Yeah,
we both just like the idea of this game and maybe some
I
of its
do.
IP runoff. But okay, cool.
It's better than if you look at it like my friend Stieg says that a 1 out of 10 rating, 5 is average. So if you give something a 5 rating, you're saying it's just about as good as any other. Don't really go out of your way for it. That's just on his line. And I'm like, I kind of like that because
Right.
normally you'd be like, average would be what, like a 7? Like, and is that true? Is an average a 7?
Right. See, I just had the same conversation too with one short I have very similar where I think we both kind of concluded that nobody uses 1 through 4 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's like 0 and 1 people use to be mean, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody really uses like 2, 3, 4, or maybe even 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
it is a
fair.
broken system right now.
It is.
Okay, well, since we
Next.
slightly changed our rules of engagement for every rating show, uh,
Mm-hmm.
let's try to do this properly. 5
Okay.
is average. So if
Okay.
5 is average, I give this a 5.
Okay.
I don't want
I'm
to
going
give
to
it
change
less
yours to
because
a 5.
then I'd feel bad because I don't really remember it.
I think it's slightly above average, if not for me to think of it for the general population because it's banned a legacy.
I mean, it has a
And
DC comic. It's
yeah.
that says that
I,
means something. I think.
was it promoted by educators? Was it funded by the government? Is there a reason it's more popular, or are people really that interested in geography? I'd like to know.
Yeah, I would not. You guys can just tell Anna that and leave me out of it.
Yeah, that would be most emails. That's okay. I tell you about the cool ones, like when you got people living locally and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, I think we're done. Are
Thank
we
God.
done with that? Not the whole episode, guys. Don't leave.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
you can leave if
just
you
Carmen
want, but
San
no,
Diego
just the
forever.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, we will.
she'll never grace our whatever again. So, but
Yeah.
number 2 is We do. Is it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Number 2 is The Adventures of Willy Beamish.
Right. Which this one I'm excited because I
Yeah.
have a box for. You knew that was coming. You could hear it in my voice. You're like, she's about to pull out the big box. And the cool thing about this big box is that it has the menu for the slice of life pizza
And remember,
menu.
people, this isn't background noise or shoddy editing. This is
No,
big
this is
box
on purpose.
ASMDR.
Yes, ASMDR. Let's call it that. But also, the fun part is I have the stickers. So I have like
Oh,
the,
nice.
yeah, all the Horny the Frog and everybody. So they're all there hanging out, which is pretty cool.
Fun personal fact, when Anna and I are messaging, we use the frog to indicate anything sexual because his name is Horny. So that's the
course.
impact in real life that these games have.
In our everyday life, it's a real thing.
I'm so excited about this game that we may have peaked too soon in this episode because it's no, that's not true. There's some good ones coming up. Okay, I scrolled down as I said that. I mean, I love Willy Beamish. This is my when I decided to start purchasing big boxes again. So like I don't know, 2013 or whatever the year. And I was like, I'm gonna start buying those back. Willy Beamish was in the first round. Like I think I got I know that I got Police Quest 1, Gold Rush, and Willy Beamish. So like it's more entrenched in my childhood than I think I give it credit for. I tend to go right to like the 3, the Space Quest, Police Quest, and Gold Rush. But Willy Beamish is right up there with them. I played this game over and over and over again. I had a Rat's Tail I don't know why I didn't say this one first. I had a Rat's Tail for like a year and a half because of Willy. I was like, I want to look like Willy Beamish. Only kid that maybe ever said that. I don't know. So yeah, I really like this game. I played it with my kid once or twice. It's weird that I didn't realize this as a kid, but the last time I played it, I was a little less engaged than the previous times. One, because I probably have played it just too many times. So I was starting to lose a little bit of interest maybe anyway. But it was also, oh yeah, and it was also because I wanted to see what the talkie was like. That's a mistake. Cue my normal spiel on same with Echo Quest. Don't play the talkie versions. It completely ruins it. Children can't act. That's a firm saying we have here at CGG Podcast. We really believe in it. That children are the worst actors. I don't know why we're so
officially
hard on
endorsed by the CGG Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So if you haven't played it, do play it, but don't play the talkie version. But anyway, I was going to say that it's quite static. Like you don't walk around freely. You exit and enter rooms freely, but you don't like if you click on something, you don't walk to it, right? You just kind of stand there in the room. And then yeah, I think I don't need to really continue to beat that one home. You guys get it. So I don't know. I didn't notice it as a kid, but it did kind of annoy me a little bit as I played it the last time. So that's my, I guess, random swing at a critique at it. But I mean, otherwise the game is just amazing.
Well, Jeff Tunnell is he's artistic, right? He did Heart of China and Rise of the Dragon, which is kind of a surprise because the animation style is so different. But they end up bringing in like a whole team that did Disney movies too. You've got like The Little Mermaid, Johnny Quest, The Simpsons, and all of it kind of came together to make what is the closest to a cartoon we could have ever imagined as teenagers. And I know I've mentioned it on our episode about Willy Beamish, but my classmate Ben had it randomly and lent it to me, and it was the coolest because it was a random game, and it was a random game for a boy at school. We dated briefly. It may or may not have been related to getting this game. I'm not sure, but the point is Sierra games are sexy. You just need to meet the people with the right equipment.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot there that I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
But it's only because I don't know how old you guys were in the story.
No, we were in grade. It was grade 8. So.
Right. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
I was
okay.
I was quietly also looking up a quick playthrough of Space Quest 5 to make sure that you could walk freely in that game, and you can.
You can. Oh yeah.
Because Heart of China and Dragon, you can't either. So I was wondering if that was like a Dynamix thing. Which I mean, to a degree it is, but not with Space Quest. Fair enough. And thank God. Especially 5. Love 5. But anyway.
But yeah, traditional cell animation, stuff like that was things that we didn't as often see in a game. It was really just such a futuristic looking game.
Its tone is all over the place, which is fun too. Like it doesn't.
Hmm.
I don't know if it really Beamish knew exactly what it wanted to do. They marketed it as, what if you could go back to being that age knowing what you know now. So they kind of correctly marketed it, because there's a lot of like adult themes going on, like a lot.
Hmm.
Like the bad guys are, riding each other at one point, like in BDSM gear, legit. I'm not exaggerating. I know I exaggerate a lot because it's fun, but that's a real scene in the movie or in the game where Leona's whatever. Anyway,
Hmm. It was never marketed towards children. Haha. I mean, oh yeah, you're looking at the box and you're like, are you for real? But for real, it even says like, how much trouble could you get yourself into if you could be 9 years old again, not realizing that 9-year-olds were playing it.
right. So it's like they told you that it was for adults, but nothing about it else looks like it is. Like it really
Right.
reads as a kid's game for kids, where
Hmm.
you play a kid and
It's
it
like,
starts in school, and like, yeah, everything about it is seems like it's for kids, and then you get into it and you're like, wow, this is yeah,
yeah. Like
explicit.
I got this kids cartoon. It's called Heavy Metal. I don't know what it's about, but it's a cartoon. It must be for kids. Something like that.
Right,
I
exactly.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Bright primary colors, you know?
Going to attract my attention from the get go, and it did. But yeah, I mean, I was in grade 8, I was 12. I turned 13 partway through, but I played this when I was still 12. And I was able to figure it out, and I was able to finish the game. So it wasn't exactly written out of the ability of somebody that wasn't an adult to play.
Right. I used to take the little journal to school with me and just like mess with it.
Hmm. I
Everybody
loved it
listen.
because it's so real, man.
Y'all had like that thing you would take to school, like it was
Hmm.
like the hot item of the week or month. It was just like, little companion you'd like bring with you and just kind of fiddle with like in between whatever. I don't even know what in between because you're in the same classroom all day. Well,
Hmm.
whatever. Anyway, Willy Beamish is awesome. I give it a 10. I have to.
Very nice. I gave it a 9.
Rational.
Solid.
Yeah. All right. Up
I
next, we got do you have any closing thoughts on Willy?
no, no. I've talked enough about Willies today.
Fair enough. She
Okay.
has, guys. It was out of control before we got on the air. Blue, but that's actually partly true, but not how everyone thinks. Okay, it was actually pretty gross. But all right, that made it worse. Look, Blue Force is next. Man, okay, Blue Force. Jim Walls. He left Sierra and went to Tsunami and made Blue Force. This is the spiritual Police Quest 3, or at
Hmm.
least 4. Yeah, 4. Because he did 3 with Jane Jensen, right? He hadn't left yet. Correct.
Right.
Yeah. So this is spiritual Police Quest 4. And I will say it's better than Open Season, but then I'll also say I haven't played Open Season.
Right. No, I understand that.
Will you play both? Which one's better?
Oh, well, Blue Force, I didn't finish it, but I did play a lot of it. And I thought it was funnier and it had more personality. It was quirkier. Your grandma was crazy. She's like always formatting her hard drive and telling you you've gained too much weight. The back and forth and the cartoonishness, like I didn't get far enough into the game to have a solid opinion.
I like it. You're like, it's good. It's not worth finishing, but it's good.
It is worth finishing because it's really not very long of a game. I think I'm actually pretty close to the end. So
Blue Force is ridiculous. It's an
it's just
absolutely ridiculous game because
you're a cop, but you're not a cop. You're a not cop. You're a
yeah,
not.
you're an off duty. You're a cop who's been injured and is not allowed to look into the case that you have
Hmm.
to look into. So
Yeah.
you spend the entire game as a cop who can't use police protocol or
Yeah.
authority, and you have to sneak around like an average person in average clothes. And it's just like, what are we doing? Like, what the absolute fuck is going on here? Why would you make a game about being a policeman and then take away everything cool, fun, unique, and different about being a policeman? And just like, because you have to sneak around cops. You can't get caught by your own department looking into this case, or you'll lose your job. So you're just a regular dude.
Which is, I guess, what some people did find their favorite thing about the game. They didn't have to stick to procedure, and there wasn't like as much in the way of dead ends because you forgot to do something earlier on. Maybe they said the only way you can be creative, Jim, is if you forget all that shit about procedure and just write a goddamn story.
I mean, I get people saying like, I'm glad I didn't have to walk around the car or whatever, but like, I don't know. It's a police game. Like, what are you doing? It's just so weird. The premise of regular guy investigates 10-year-old case
Hmm.
isn't really compelling enough, right? Like I don't know. Look, fuck me. I'm just saying, if you make a game about being a police officer who can't police office, and
Hmm.
and you lose me. That said,
Even though they call it a police procedural game, I mean, it's literally in the description of the title. It is meant to
um,
be considered that way.
well, that said, I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
I
No,
really,
I did too. I said that grandma's hardcore. It's a good game. It's pretty, and I didn't mind the back and forth. It was
it
reasonable.
was good. I don't know. I had a good time with it. It was super. It was super. I'm trying to avoid saying mid because I don't want to date myself like dipping into like word bank that's too youthful. But like, yeah, it's pretty mid, man. I'm gonna
Yeah.
give it better than a 5.
You know why? Because Ken Allen did the music, which is
There
a
you go.
surprise, right? It wasn't
Right.
even with Sierra, but there they were, and that's the fucking team too. I tell you,
Yeah.
having Ken Allen in there always bumps up the quality of stuff.
Yeah, that's factually correct.
Yeah.
So anyway, I did have fun with it. I kind of just like to roast it a little bit because it's ridiculous, but it's actually a pretty fun time. And like Anna said a second ago, it's not very long. I played it I don't know, it was like 5 years
Two and
ago.
a half hours or
Right. I
something.
was
I
gonna
think,
say
like I
three.
said, I
Yeah,
think I'm like literally like 25 minutes away from the end tops. I'm really close.
it's worth a go.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm tempted to even say I liked it better than Police Quest 3. It's definitely in Police
Yeah.
Quest 3 range as
I
far as
liked it. I think I might like it better than Police Quest 3 wasn't as disappointing as the one after it, but it was a little disappointing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it was.
Yeah. Hmm.
So anyway, all right, Blue Force. I'll give Blue Force a 7.
Okay, that's fine.
I
I
hope we
gave
can
it a
do decimals.
6.5, so
Right. Okay, I'll stick with 7.
yeah. Okay.
All right, up next.
So
Oh,
this is I'm not sus at all. You've played this game lots of times, especially recently, and we're going to talk about James Earl Jones, may he rest in peace, and his amazing chops.
right. I didn't know he passed away. Was that recently?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't gonna. All right, it's fine. Like I don't Star Wars. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I loved him in the AT&T commercials. Um,
Right.
Under Killing Moon was really good.
Hmm.
So I remember this as a kid.
I'm just getting the box
my
open. Just a second.
I'm immediately on flimsy ground here. I liked it as a kid. This might be the second of those two games I said I kind of don't remember too much, but um, yeah, it's fine. I don't. Okay, look, I don't remember this game kind of at all. I remember playing it as far as like I have like 3 blurry screenshots in my memory of like you know
Hmm.
playing it, sitting in front of it and clicking things. I remember that it has a very speaking of the way we started the show, has a very Nazi-ish vibe throughout the whole game because the bad guys are trying to cleanse and purify the race, or the entire human race in this case. Um, they wanted to like genetically alter and create their version of an ideal human and kill the rest of the humans, and that's what Tex has to. Am I right with that? I think I'm right with that.
Yeah, essentially, you have to like weed out who is what and if they are. And it even has some like regular actors you would see on like other TV shows and things.
Yeah, who was it? Because they were like there was like the norms, and then what were the who was the Nazi dudes? They were the dang. I'm drawing such a
I
blank on
don't
their name.
remember ancient artifacts, and
I
it
really
was
want to.
like a technological thing. You're asking for details now,
I
huh?
know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I sent us both down that. It really took you down with me. That's my bad. Um, the purists, Brotherhood of Purity. That's what it is.
Right,
It's the
right,
Brotherhood of
yes,
Purity.
that makes
Yes,
sense.
got it. Now I proved to everybody and myself that I played this at some point in time, and so
You have.
therefore I'm free to cast judgment upon it.
I just liked it. It had like Space Quest vibes. In not in the story, but in attitude. It was a little bit rougher and a little bit, but it was the same like snarky, sarcastic sense of humor, which, kept you going throughout like the really sort of, I don't know if you could even call it strenuous navigational system in the game. There was a bit of work to playing this game. It wasn't like straightforward.
Right. So that's the beauty of how memory kind of washes away like the nitty gritty bullshitty details, and so I'm more left with you hit the nail on the head. It definitely had the Space Quest kind of humor to it.
Mhm.
Um, in a different tone, but with the same. Yeah, that's just difficult to articulate. Um, in the same spirit, but with a different tone. Well, because frankly, because the tone is very noir, which is just so easy to love. I love noir. You guys, you've heard the Pringle can.
Yeah,
Um,
he's a funny, relatable, wisecracking, down on his luck private investigator. And Chris Jones, who on our crush episode way back, I said that my crush was on Chris Jones because I used to have a huge crush on him. I thought he was so adorable.
I love that. I love that for our show that the female co-host had a genuine crush on an adventure game protagonist. That's so authentic. It's unbelievable.
I didn't
Um,
know how much older he was than me at the time, so I was just like, cute detective dude. He's kind of a badass. I'm in. I love that.
but yeah, that's normal too, because young girls, these at least back in the day, right? Y'all would have
Mhm.
crushes on like
Everybody.
some elder statesmen, let's say.
Yes, it's so true. Yeah, you don't realize till you're older and you go to look them up and you're like, how are they in their 60s now? When I'm like, oh.
Yeah, don't look at anybody's age. It's really
Mm,
sad right now. This is a
no.
rough time in life. I'm assuming a lot of our listeners are close in age to us. It's like
Mhm.
you see, everybody looks so old and scary.
But they did a good job. They created the city. San Francisco looked just as gritty as you ever imagine it would be in 2042. My God, that's like not that far away.
Like you see some of the rock stars from the day, and you're just like, wait, that's around the corner for me. Like
Oh my
you
God.
had frosted tips 20 years ago, and now you're like, yeah,
Mhm.
you're like 5 years away from not knowing how to like log into Facebook anymore.
It's crazy times out there, man. I tell you what. So,
But
and
anyway,
it came with a lot of beautiful CDs. I've got the freaking case here. There's like 7 CDs in here or something. So, like, don't ever say Tex Murphy isn't a lot. He's a lot. And if you had to like marry him, I bet he would have been a lot too.
Tex
But
Murphy is Detective Noir meets Space Quest.
yeah, it totally is sci-fi and noir. Yeah, for sure. I would agree with you on that. 100%.
I give it a 7 out of 10. See?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Oh right, we can
So
do the. That's fine.
yeah.
I'm not invested.
If you go to 7.5, I'm moving to an 8. So
No, we're good. Yeah.
okay. I don't have a box, guys, for the next one. I'm so sorry, but it's I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, which we did a Halloween episode on before, and I read the short story in preparation for playing the game, and to me, it was really cool because they took what happened in the book and they expanded on it and created like a new story. And Harlan Ellison was involved in making it, and so it
Heavily.
was just as dark and dreary and more. Like, who doesn't love a world expanded? And the story itself, although depressing, was extremely short. But if you like the premise or the writing, then it's worth it. And it's the kind of game that really makes you look at your own morality and your own decisions and realizing that sometimes both decisions are going to suck. Like, not every decision you make is going to be a happy one, and yet you have to make one. And that's life, man. That's life every day. And I appreciate this game for all of its sadness. And I liked the idea of the overlord, the computer, and the little skits and everything that tied it together. I mean, because this is a game I didn't play till I was a grown up. I didn't have any memory. I didn't get this as a teenager. I had no reason to even want to play it. So, yeah, I'm very impressed with this game.
Yeah, I like that little philosophizing you did there because that's exactly right. I was telling Strummer recently too. I'm like, hey man, you get to pick. Like
Mhm.
you that's the good news. You get to pick. but you have to pick, and you
Hmm.
know, it's like it's just the way it's going to be. Like sometimes it's just going to be whichever one kind of sucks a little less, or maybe they both suck, but you do usually get to pick
Hmm.
which type of suffering you want to endure. And that's essentially a lot of the hallmark or the core theme of this game as well. um
Hmm.
this game is really unique. It's interesting because we played it for Halloween, and it's not scary. It's more heavy waves, like a blanket of dread
Yeah,
that
that's a
washes
good way
over
to
you.
put it. Good words, Paul.
Thank you. So it's like it doesn't feel. You don't feel. You know, it's almost so heavy that it
Hmm.
ruins. Like I remember at the time, it kind of ruined the whole spooky, fun, scary Halloween vibe, and it was just like ugh, like
Hmm.
existentially depressing. Um, but it's powerful. It's yeah, it's powerful. It's good writing. It's good. Scene setting, good environment, good framework. Like you could tell that the actual Arthur de Harlan was involved pretty heavily in the production of it, and there's nothing else like it. That's for damn sure. There's nothing else like this game, um, and it's quite a little exercise in. I don't, it's almost like a thought experiment that you can point
Hmm.
and click through. That's remarkably dark, but it's handled with grace because Harlan was a good writer. So it's not.
Hmm.
I feel like this is the kind of game that would could easily fall apart or become a disaster if it wasn't handled with the amount of grace that it was, because
Right.
it's tackling a lot of interesting themes and topics that need nuance, and decent
It's
writing
true.
for, which wasn't.
Well, it's different. It's like instead of being divided into days or chapters, it's divided into people. So,
Right.
that's it's a little bit of a different setup. But you've got like one dude, and he's ready to like off himself. This dude has his wife's been institutionalized, and yeah, just these characters are going through some stuff. There's like, what is it? There was a military officer, and I think he ate his compatriots, right? There was a girl, there was a Nazi scientist.
Yeah.
I don't remember. What do I remember? I don't remember what the girl did. She had trauma. She had trauma coming from some time in her past, and then there's some other guy, and he's a deceit. He's like a conning guy. So each one of them has something that's bad that has to be taken into account with their scenario. So whatever it is that they're facing is kind of like a balance to balance out what it is that they've been doing for realizations and stuff.
Right, and that was, I think, the depth of the game too, because
Hmm.
you get so lost in the character that you are, and your job, I guess you could say, is to see them safely through this chapter, because they're
Hmm.
you for these few minutes. Like you're playing as this person. It's just our kind of knee jerk reaction to get them safely to the finish line, or at least to accomplish the task that they're supposed to accomplish. And
Yeah.
halfway through, like fighting for them, let's say, you kind of stop to remember like the heinous acts that they committed in some of their cases. And furthermore, some of them were far less heinous than others. Like the Nazi scientist was the standout as far as you know couldn't be worse. Like it was hard to even want to progress with him at certain
Well,
moments.
that's just it, because you're having to identify with and sympathize with the
Right.
bad guy, but in a different kind of a way.
Right. Yeah. No. It's a wonderful. Well, that's not an appropriate word for it. It's a very very good thought experiment.
Yeah,
I really love playing in it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5, and then just say I don't want to ever play it
play it
again.
again.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8, but I also changed Under a Killing Moon to an 8.5. So there was some sneaky moves going on behind the scenes there.
Wow. Unbelievable. Um. For some reason, I'm really determined to make a soccer reference, and I don't know soccer, which is why I can't do it. I'm going to
Just
throw a card. Do they throw cards? Maybe
you could just, I don't know, drop to
flag.
the ground and grab your leg and cry for a while, and I think you'll be okay.
Ah, give it the old.
Try to get a card, try to get a call.
Yeah, it's probably cards because
Yeah.
we both went. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, look, let's listen.
Sports nerds.
um, number four, or I don't think it's number four. It doesn't matter. The next one is
No, it's 5. I
okay.
just didn't number them properly. I'm the one that put this together.
Number whatever is Beaver and Buttface is in
I have
virtual
the
stupidity.
box. I am opening the box. This one I do have.
All right,
It
so
came with by the way, did you know that Viacom New Media actually made more than just Beavis and Butthead? Virtual Stupidity. Maybe you've played such games as Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Harbinger, Congo the Movie, Descent into Zinj, or hang on, Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective, Nick Jr. Play Math, I'm not done, Real Monsters by Nickelodeon, Director's Lab, Are You Afraid of the Dark? Yes, as the game, The Indian in the Cupboard, yes, as a game, Phantom 2040, nobody's heard of this, Richard Scarry's Busy Town, How Things Work, Aeon Flux, and Star Trek Voyager. This product catalog, I have not heard of any of this at all.
yeah, me neither. That was all really extensive. Maybe Eon Flex, but I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it. There's not a lot else in here other than you've got the game in a CD-ROM in a jewel case, and if I pull the instruction booklet out, you do get a little manual, and you get some stuff about action icons and
Well, a lot of these games were in the weird box era. Well, this is '95, but still,
it's a
they were
big
getting
box.
they were the crushable big boxes. They were getting a little flimsy. The CD-ROM boxes didn't have the feelies anymore. So
Don't talk so loud, you'll crush my box more. It's so fragile. Don't even tell it that it can do that, please.
I have this shout out to David Bitten, who very kindly bought me a copy of this game.
Shout out to Roberta Vaughn for this game. Woo!
We got whoa. That was a little rednecky for some reason. Whoa, fuck yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, I got stuck.
Hell yeah, boy.
I just want to be character in it now.
That's decent. That's decent for somebody in the Northwest. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, man. Well, listen, I won't do that anymore. I'm sorry, guys. But Beavis
It's
and
like
Butthead's
a
a good game.
boomhauer there coming through.
We dang old did an episode on this, man. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
You should check it out. That episode to this day didn't do as good as I thought it would. For
It
some
never
reason,
did.
I thought it was going to
thought-
be a breakout. I thought we
Me
were
too.
going to just really. I thought it was going to be that episode, and then the next one was going to be brought to you by insert major sponsor here. You know, I really.
Yeah. We were going to be, remember, we did get an episode offer, guys. You're missing out. We got an offer to like a ball shaver for
Was it?
men.
I thought it was.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was specifically for that, and apparently we'd have to do something creative and convince all of you. Well,
never mind.
they're not paying me anything. I'm not telling you who asked, and I'm not doing it. So sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we are sorry for your potentially hairy balls. I guess I don't know what I'm apologizing for. Yeah,
but that's why, I mean, we have a Patreon, and the fact is, we just, as Paul and I discussed before deciding we had to do yet another goddamn episode. No, I'm just kidding. But we did decide that we are doing this because we want to, is the point, not because we need to shave anything.
Well, right, but not because of that. Yes.
No, I mean, we have to shave anyways. It's relevant, is the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. No, this game was fun because we had to play it for an episode, and it was just like playing the show, and it made everybody around me laugh because I don't know, they thought it was really funny. It had your Daria in it, and she got a spin-off. She got her own show out of it, right? You've gone Van Dryson, Buzzcut, Mr. McVicker, everybody's there, right? Todd's in there. Yeah, it's good. You get to see everybody, you get to break stuff, you get to kick some ass. I don't see anything wrong with this. As far as what it was better than I thought it would be. I am flipping happy they ventured into the adventure game world and did this. I love it when you're like with the tank, dealing with the dude that has the tank, but you want to get the tank. It's just so funny.
It was incredibly well. It's I don't know. I've been thinking as you're talking, like, is this the best licensed adventure game? And it might be.
Mm-hmm. It's up against one other licensed adventure game in the stack. If I had to compare the two,
Which one?
Well, hang on, unless you erased it. No, Toonstruck's still there.
Okay. Wait, so who was Toonstruck licensed though? It was.
I guess not. It's just by Virgin, but it's not actually licensed property because it's not based on anything. So yes, back to your original question. It is. the
Right,
best licensed game out there.
I
You
mean,
win.
it doesn't have good competition, right? You're up against like
No.
Wayne's World and Bill and
Oof.
Ted and like infamously Beverly Hillbillies, infamously
It's
terrible.
usually just mini games, all just put together for games like this, right? So,
Yeah, and if for anybody interested too, shout out to Pushing Up Roses. She has a really good
mhm.
video on. I don't know if it's on Capstone or if it's on licensed adventure games in general, because Capstone
But
did
it
most of
features,
them.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah. Check that out if you haven't. It's a really good video, like all of her stuff. Um, I love this game because okay,
Mhm.
I would wrap it up in this. I'll make it short and sweet. That the one thing I would ever ask of anybody if they were going to license a game is to let me feel like I'm inside of the world. Like I
Mhm.
always liked Hit and Run because I felt like for a few minutes like I could actually explore Springfield. Like I think that's what we want on the outside for like our shows. Is like wouldn't it be cool to walk around? You know, I can't think of the fucking town name. Wherever Beavis and Butthead are at. Arlington? I don't know. So that's probably King of the Hill. Look, there's somewhere in America, and I wanted to walk around their little town, and the game gives you that
Mhm.
vibe. You get to, and you have the freedom too, where it's like, hey, I'm just gonna head over to the bloody, Quickie Mart or whatever. I know, guys. I don't remember the thing. Doesn't matter. The convenience store can be somebody. And they let you do that, and it really encapsulates the vibe of being able to go to their school and to all the places they went in the show, and it nails it. And the puzzles are good, and the writing is really good. There was like a lot of care and love that was put into this. It wasn't like a cash grabby situation like a lot of the other licensed ones. So yeah, I really
Oh,
like
it's
it.
set in Highland, Texas. I should have known that
It was
because
Texas,
that's where the series is set. It's all in Texas. You got to think about Hank's accent.
right?
And because they're all connected, because it's Mike Judge, he's the guy that did all of these and in the other movies, and he's kind of a genius in general for coming up with content that's as funny and witty and on so many different levels. He's like what's his name, the guy that does Family Guy and
Sesame MacFarlane,
right,
yeah.
yeah, those two are both the same. They can run multi genres and they can just pull the shit off. I am so impressed with the both of them.
So I'm tempted to say I'm far more impressed by McFarlane. Like, okay, I'm not. I wouldn't give Judge the accolades based on King of the Hill or Beavis and Butthead, but he's a genius just for Idiocracy. Like that movie is just ridiculously good, like insanely good. So if anybody hasn't seen Idiot, that's the real winner here today, people. Is Idiocracy. You need to bloody watch that if you haven't. It's amazing. That's Mike Judge.
So I rewatch it regularly just to remind me of what's going on, and I show it to people if they haven't seen it yet. So.
There you go. That's what's up. Yeah, and that's why he's
Mhm.
a genius. Yeah, it's amazing. All right, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give this a 9 or not. I'm gonna give it yeah, 8.5. No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because I gave it an 8, but I also ended up giving I Have No Mouth an 8.5, and now Under a Killing Moon somehow has 9. So that that happened.
Jesus Christ. That's amazing. Okay, it's adorable, honestly. All right, next up is Toonstruck from 1996. We also did an episode on this. I think maybe this was our first episode of 2024. I might be wrong. Honestly, I have no right even attempting to be that precise, but yeah, throw it against the wall or whatever. So
Well, not this box because it doesn't have too much. Well, it's got a hard shell at least inside it, but the bottom opens like it flops open all the time.
oh, don't throw that box against the wall. Seriously, man, I swear. And the fact that you made it cryptic like that is either impressive or enraging. I'm not sure which one.
But I've got the good box. I have the box that doesn't have the clown. I've got the box where Christopher Lloyd's getting electrocuted on the front by the clown guy.
I chose poorly. I had the choice of both, and I got the clown one, and I regret it to this day, nearly every day.
It affects your everyday life on a regular basis.
Yeah, if I'm ever caught staring stoically out of a rainy window, that's what I'm thinking about. Really drop
Yeah,
that ball.
the game. This is another game that's similar to Willy Beamish. Is a children-looking game with adult contexts, especially halfway through the game when everything goes to the dark side.
Right.
See, the bottom
Whoops.
opens. Did you hear that? That's the bottom opening. This freaking game, and you can't put tape on it because it's a box. You just got to
Yeah.
let it happen.
Right, that's very Bill Cosby of you because it's a box. Yeah, this game. I don't know. I played it like a year ago, and I don't remember anything. I remember really liking it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, like the BDSM cows and whatever.
Big nipples, but so many of them.
Yeah, inflamed nipples is what I would actually.
It was a little much. It was a little like, you guys maybe need to find a safe word.
Right, exactly. That should have been, yeah. Oh wow, man, there's some more art that it gets even wilder. Okay, I remember it now that I've looked at pictures of it. Yeah, this game was super fun.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Go ahead. You do your thing.
sorry. What is this in the spirit of non? Which one I do first? LucasArts Sierra games. Like if we're curating a list for the other games you should play, this is like this is in the spirit of it. Like this is the exact shining example of a game that you should check out outside of that thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was going to be the future of entertainment. It was going to be what everybody wanted. It was going to be what people wanted, because I think at the time, entertainment industry still felt that people didn't want to be passively entertained. They didn't realize people wanted to be passively entertained actively with the internet. It was a different concept.
Mm. Right. That is interesting though, because you're right though, we almost point and click through the internet in a sense, where like there's just enough interactivity to kind of keep you. I don't know. That's a messy attempt at any sort of correlation there, but yeah, no, this is your FMV essential era. You can tell by Christopher Lloyd's outfit what year it is.
Yeah.
Precise.
And he's hanging out in Qtopia and Xanadu and Malevoland. There's like a game map of all of those, only 3 at the back of the book, but it's all like on cardboard kind of. And it has a surprise ending that I would never want to reveal, but it was a really great, like, if you're a fan of Who Framed Roger Rabbit or anything, Cool World, or kind of anything in that genre, this is the kind of game that's for you. And if you're a fan of Christopher Lloyd, there's no reason not to go out and enjoy what would have been the next level of multimedia entertainment had, and I think they blew the budget. I think this game ended up kind of sadly killing the company and doing other things they weren't intending for it to do, but they put so much into it and had so much want for what it was going to bring to the future that it didn't go right.
Yeah, you guys should listen.
But there is a second one, right?
No, I think there was like a fan thing, or maybe a.
No, they did enough footage and they divided the game into 2. That's why there's more footage than is actually played. But all of the footage got tucked away in a file cabinet and apparently got lost somewhere. And nobody knows where it is. And it's already all been filmed and everything.
Ah, it's so painful. Wow.
Yeah. Dude.
Well, you guys should check out our episode on it, because we have facts in that one. Because I remember something to do with. I remember laughing really hard at the. I think we uncovered that the clown cover like really fucked them in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Like the game just did not sell because of the scary clown cover, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Check out the episode we did on it from earlier in this year. I think at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm just gonna give this. I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give it a 9, because I had a lot of fun when I played this game.
Yeah, I am consistently being a little harder on everything, even though I'm being nicer in actual words.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. Yeah, fucking A. Yeah, that's true. You're retroactively unharshing everything though, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
You're like Canadian shadows going back and making everything more nice, more nicer. I don't know. Yeah, I'm sticking with 8.5. Or wait, is that what I said? No, I said 9.
No, you said 9. You're sticking with 9.
I'm sticking with whatever number I said.
But the next game too, we've done an episode about it, and it was Blade Runner, and holy shit, was it a good episode and a great game. I enjoyed all of it. I'd started playing it a few times, and was really, I love just. I like some of the characters you'd know maybe from the movie world if you'd see the movie world, but like there's all sorts of originality all the way through it. There's the same like moral ambiguity that you'd get in I Have No Mouth, but in a different way. You've got your multiple endings, you've got your replicants. It's a beautiful game. I don't know about the remake. I haven't played a remake. And I mean, okay, granted, the whole game starts with killing animals, but most of them aren't even technically real animals. Those were far and few between, you know. animals are generally replicants, and only the rich people have animals. And yeah, it's similar to the movie. Get out there, play it. It's beautiful. The score is a freaking amazing. The acting, the voice acting is so good. I actually stayed there to listen to it. And the gameplay itself, you can do it in all sorts of different orders, which I found out makes it really hard to follow a walkthrough on.
Yeah, there's this would be a great one short eye video. This game, because it just has so many
So deep. Meant to be
unbelievable
5
amounts of
freaking hours
branches.
long. Oh.
Yeah. This is another one we just did an episode on this too. So I'm
Mhm.
gonna also kind of just skip class early on this and say go check out the episode on it. That was an episode that did really good too. So I don't
Are
know.
you 9 or 9.5?
I'll give this a 10 because I
You're going
just
to do all the way to 10.
I mean
Wow.
I love Blade Runner, man.
I
Yeah,
love that.
because for
Good
me
job.
it's like Blade Runner is like an all time favorite movie of mine, hands down. Like easily, always will be. You know, in my own little top 3 or whatever. And then so you find out that because I missed it at the time, but then I found out, I don't know, 10 years ago, like holy shit, there was a point and click adventure game made after my favorite movie, and because that's my favorite genre, these are like my favorite things, man. And then you get your hands on it and you play it, and to not have been disappointed is miraculous. Like the level of expectation I couldn't help but have going in, and for that to have been met and perhaps surpassed as far as enjoyment of the game and quality of story, it's got to be a 10. Yeah.
That's
10.
absolutely fair.
Next one is another favorite, man. Jeez. Next one
It
is
is not just a Metallica song, it is also a video game.
nice. Sanitarium. By the way, I did sneak back and give Toonstruck an 8.5, small demotion, because I saw Blade Runner and Sanitarium coming up. I'm like, all right, reel it in.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on Sanitarium?
Oh, it's cool. I mean, you're piecing together a story. It's a mystery. It starts in a psych ward. I absolutely stuff like that. The involvement of the insect world, which was a little intense, but the circus, the Aztec village, which was also a little intense. And I like the idea of uncovering the past and confronting the truth and identities and traumas, mental illness, and the whole very nature of reality itself. Plus, there's really wild Easter eggs in the game, which you can find out if you go and watch One Short Eye's video. He has a whole video on Easter eggs that you can find in this game. It is cool. It is thought provoking. The children are creepy. The graphics are beautiful. The storyline is wonderfully put together. I am also, hang on, I would be remiss if I didn't open the big box of it that I have right in front of me.
I really like how you're like your top 3. You're just like atmosphere's great, music's great, kids are creepy. 10 out of 10. Solid game, guys.
Solid. I have it. Hang on, and the other cool thing is, as I said, it is so advanced looking. Like when you were a little girl in the circus, you really felt like a little girl in the surface, and you're just like, what the hell? It's not tiled, right? It's like the Phantom Fellows in the train scene, and you can walk longer, and whatever you're going to do in the future, it doesn't matter. But the point is, this game's like that. You can just go into different areas and get your cinematics.
This game, I'm going to just say, because I don't know how to continue without giving it first. I give it a 9.5, and the only reason I don't give it a 10 is because of the insect and Aztec world, of which I can kind of forgive the Aztec world. If anything, it maybe was just a little less interesting than the other ones.
But the insect one,
the insect one is
my
bullshit.
God.
Yeah,
Even with videos, man, I tell you that was a lot, man.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I'm not giving it a 10. And if it's because of both of them too. Like I could almost feel like I could forgive one of the two of them, but the Aztec one really grinds the excitement to a halt at the end there, and the insect one is kind of bullshit. So for those two, I give it a 9.5. But the rest of the game is so good that it can afford to have 2 entire chapters that are meh and still be pretty legendary. I think to most people that played it too feel.
Yeah, it sticks with you when you play it the first time. It stays with you for like forever.
And not in the I have no mouth way. That game sticks with you for a while in like a please get it off kind of way. But this is more like I already know I'm replaying this one day sort of way.
Was that a 9? You said
9.5.
9.5. Okay, I'm a 9. I was an 8, but I changed my mind. Then I was an 8.5. Now I'm a 9. It's a 9.
All right, last one. I think I'm just realizing now we've done an episode on almost all of these.
We have. Blackstone Chronicles is the one that I picked for a Halloween choice because I was a huge fan of John Saul and I'd read all of his books, including the Blackstone Chronicles, which was released by Chapter. And I said, y'all need to play this scary mofo game because even though it's kind of like Seventh Guest, or it's just, you're not walking around your environment, you're looking at your environment and you're clicking through it. It's engaging and interesting enough as of a story because of the psych ward stuff and the ghost stuff that I think you guys will be enchanted. And I'm not sure. I think out of everybody, you were the only one that was really super enchanted about it at the time.
Dude, I love this game. Yeah, I was so stoked you recommended it because you recommended it, and my initial reaction was just like, ugh, okay, because it's not it's first person, which is my initial reason for any sort of pushback and cringe,
Mhm,
because it's a combination of two things. One, it's not pixel art, and two, it's first person. So I'm like,
mhm,
I'm not gonna like this. And then I loved it. It was
mhm.
amazing, because the story is good. It's the writing. The writing is really good, and the
And
graphics
when
and
they
all that aren't
take
bad.
you over, the game takes you over, and like you've had control of your own self the whole game, and all of a sudden you find yourself like being controlled by the game and you can't stop it. That blew me away the first time I
Mm,
encountered that.
right, that was very cool. Yeah, good call. Because you don't see that much either. I'm not sure I've seen that again in a
Mm-mm.
game. Um, yeah, this one's really good. I almost more want to recommend this more than anything on our list, because the other ones all speak for themselves, and this one really slips between the cracks. Um, it's really difficult to play.
Mhm.
I remember at the time I was building old computers, so I found it easier to play it on actual Windows 98 on an old computer than it was to emulate it, because otherwise you have to basically you got to get 95 or 98 working in DOSBox to play it,
Mhm.
which is always a pain because it won't play on 3.1. It's in that era of games that need 9x, and we still just don't have a good 9x emulator yet, which is a shame. Um, but anyway, it's fun. If anybody listening happens to be a Mac user that uses Parallels, then that's what's up. That's what I would
Mhm.
do, because I develop Phantom Fellows on a Mac. I use Windows through Parallels to run the AGS side of things, and I just installed Windows 95 and 98 and
Mhm.
IBM OS 2, like all kinds of nerdy OSs on there just for fun. But anyway, it's a little hard to run, but it's totally worth playing. It's a really good game, and I want to champion this one above all the other ones here, just because, yeah, again, it's not. Is this like a GOG Steam thing? I don't even think it's available to buy.
No, I don't even think like you can find it and just
Yeah, yeah,
try
yeah.
your best, man. I played it right off the CD. I had to play it on my also my Windows XP computer.
Yeah, no,
So I wasn't able to get it running on anything newer. I'm sorry.
oh, so you also, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, and off of original disc, and I don't have the big box guys because my god, it's so sad. But that's one of the game boxes that I recycled, thinking I was being a good person, and I
Yikes.
put the CD in a CD case, which I still have.
Right, at least you kept that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and there are packages you could download, like wrappers where it's like DOSBox comes packaged with Windows 98, and I don't know. I've gone down that rabbit hole. It's kind of a mess because honestly, you need like a ton of drivers and stuff. But just if you already have a system, and to be honest, I mean, reading the room, I'm sure a lot of our audience does have means to play stuff on 9x. Then check this game out for sure. And yeah, even if you can't buy it, you can find it
Mhm.
pretty quickly. Yar.
Yeah, go save your son. Joshua will never be safe without you.
Yeah. Oh, because that's right in the game. So
Mhm.
yeah. Well, I give
What's your
this.
rating? Yes.
I give it a 9. Wait,
Okay, I
what did I
gave it a
give Toonstruck?
9.5.
I give
You
Toonstruck.
gave Toonstruck 8.5.
Okay, so 9. Yeah, that makes mine too.
Okay, we're good.
Perfect. All right, let's to the mathmobile. Okay, we're back with numbers and stuff. I've
Right.
got a very sad looking spreadsheet here.
Do you have
Um,
a calculator in front of you and a pencil behind your ear and one of those
right.
caps with the see-through portion on the bill?
Yeah, the green
Yeah.
transparent, yeah, banker's cap or whatever. I know it's a
Yeah.
banker's lamp, but
Whatever.
yeah, whatever. Like if you want the literal history on that, interact with the
Google.
lamp in the office in day 4 of the Phantom Fellows, because Engelbert gives a painful 5-minute long explanation.
That's beautiful.
Okay, Coming in last position is Carmen Sandiego. She gets a 5.5. Yeah.
Shocker.
I almost feel bad because my heart wasn't in that one. If anybody
Don't-
loves that game, don't worry about it. It's us. It's not
Mhm.
you guys.
No.
Um, okay, next to last is Blue Force with a
Huh.
6.75. So we
Poor
this was
thing.
back when we were trying to be measured, you know. Remember for like the first 2 or 3 games, we're like 5 is average, guys. We're not
I
gonna.
totally forgot about that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then so maybe these ones got kind of dealt a rough card here.
Shafted a little
Yeah,
bit.
sorry about that, guys. So
Still play it.
yeah, it's fine. Um, no, do play Blue Force. That one was fun. Under a Killing Moon is next with a drastic words are getting harder as the episode goes on. Look, it's next and it's got an 8.
Yeah.
Even.
Because I was up and Paul was down, and in the middle we shall meet. 8.
Yeah, this one has quite a big divide. Anna gave it a 7. I
Mhm.
gave it a 9. Vice
Mhm.
versa. Again, with
Mhm.
words.
Yeah.
So next is next is Beavis and Butthead. That gets a 8.25. It just edged it out, Anna. It edged it out. Right. Thank you. Next up is Toonstruck with an 8.5.
Ooh.
Tied with Toonstruck is I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. What a
Right.
pair that is. Talk about
That is because one of them they won't shut up and the other one they can't talk.
yeah. That's yeah, that's an odd pair right there. Jeez Louise. Next up,
It shows that our tastes are all over the freaking map, I guess.
yeah, depends on what time in the episode we got to it. There's a lot of variables.
It's a lot.
And Anna's getting more hungry as the thing goes on for what that's worth.
True.
Okay, the next 4 are tied for first and second. What a confusing way to put that. So tied for not first is man. You would think I was trying to make it difficult. Tied for I guess second with a 9.25 is Blackstone, Mr. Brownstone's Chronicles,
We
and
used to do a little,
Sanitarium.
but a little wouldn't do it, so a little got more and more. Whoa.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the whoa part. Yeah, so Blackstone Chronicles and Sanitarium, and that's a pleasant surprise because I mean Sanitarium obviously, but to see
Mhm.
Blackstone up there is refreshing, frankly.
Yeah, good for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know who you guys are in that. Actually, I think
That's us,
oh,
Anna
like
and
5 minutes
Paul.
ago, right? Yeah, yeah, we
Us,
were really on
us
back
then. I know, good for us.
then. Next is okay, both of these tied for first with 9.50. So again, nothing got a 10 today. Blade Runner
Mhm.
and Willy Beamish. That's at our top.
Yeah, which I mean, I could have told you that.
So basically, our top 4 picks are Willy Beamish, Blade Runner, Sanitarium, and Blackstone Chronicles.
Yep.
Yeah, and you guys should definitely check out Blackstone. Check out Blue Forest. The rest of them don't need any sway or whatever
Mhm.
because you either know about it or whatever. All right, yeah. So anyway, we're all done now. Anna's gonna say stuff, and then we're gonna let you go.
Right. So, yeah, I just want to say thanks for coming out and listening to the episode. We have a couple of new Patreon members. Christopher Faust, thank you so much for joining at the True Believer tier as well as at $15 a month. So I appreciate that because we
Thank you.
don't actually have a tier for that. You've created that tier all by yourself, and
It is henceforth known as the Christopher Faust tier.
that's right. And this in this tier you are forced to play Quest for Glory 5 whether you want to or not, and fortunately that is exactly what our follower of the show has been doing as they would. So everybody else can expect that if you want to be forced to pay
Right.
and play a game. And okay, and Chapman Carruthers, because I don't know where I'm going with that, but thank you so much also for being a new $10 member to the Patreon.
Yeah.
We really, 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 really appreciate it. It helps keep the show running. Also, Gareth and Mick and Brian Manown, Jay Holmes and Jeffrey Couch, Mark Fillion, and the rest. We appreciate all of you love reading your names out at the end of every episode, and wish I could do it more often, because every single person that's in this list is creative and wonderful in their own way too. So thank you for sticking with us through all of the episodes, thick and thin, bumbling or solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, or at least thanks for forgetting to cancel your Patreon subscription. Oh wait, no, I just reminded you. Damn it,
Wow.
that is to my own
One
detriment.
rule.
That's
Yeah.
one rule only. And anyways, yes. So download the Phantom Fellows. It is out now. You can go to GOG or GOG, whatever you want to call it. Go to Steam, go to Itch, go to Fireflower, or itch yourself while picking a flower and having a steam bath, but still go to GOG. Do
Wow.
it in some
Very nice.
order. Thank you. And then leave a review, because even if it's just a couple of words, a review always helps for like visibility and noticeability and stuff like that too. Check out our friends. Say a thing.
I don't know, just backing up. Yeah. That was my
Yeah.
grovel.
Go.
No, reviews would be great. I would appreciate a good review. If you need something to say, because you're like, oh, I don't want to like think of stuff to say. I have to think of stuff to say all day, which is fair. Then just be like, much game do play.
Yep.
There you go. Bam.
That is many game, much play, do thing.
Yeah, they'd be
anyways,
appreciated
check
on
out our-
Steam. Sorry, I'm still beating this up.
No.
They'd be much appreciated on Steam, and also on GOG. I think we're like one review, maybe 2 reviews away from a visible score. So that would be super awesome too. If anybody could leave a GOG review. So sorry. Okay, I'm all done.
That's fine. So check out our friends at the Adventure Game Hotspot, and otherwise, all of their links for everything that they've been working on will be below. And say hi to us, CGG Podcast on Twitter, or Phantom Fellows. Send us your words. Mail at cggpodcast.com, or anywhere else you think you can get a hold of us. Check us out on Patreon. We're also on Facebook. We're a page. We're a group. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. That's it.
Don't do a murder!
Baker.
Yeah, there's a hell of a distinction there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. On that note. Okay, let's do an episode.
Okay.
I like to leave it there. That's not the part you can put at the end of the episode.
I know. I wish it was, though.
I know. I heard you wishing it. Yeah. Jesus.
Man. It was about elephant balls, everybody, in case this is the only part of that I did put in.